You know, I really, really wanted to, wait, um, at least, I don't know, a week, like next week to record the first episode, but something just very infuriating happened, and it reminded me of something that I've wanted to talk about. So, welcome to, Esvin Sports or whatever. I'm your host, Esvin. Yeah, and I'm pretty mad today. So, today was softball's. Um, what I now know is their last day of this year. I was just watching it, and we had a 2-1 lead going to the seventh inning, the final inning of the game. And you know what happens? If you're familiar with Nebraska sports, you know exactly what happened. We choked it hard, going from a 2-1 lead to a 5-2 deficit. Now, you may be saying to yourself, oh, but you came back from down 3 runs. That doesn't matter. We came back down 3 runs against a slightly lesser opponent in Wichita State. We're going up against Oklahoma State for the chance to play again in a couple hours. Well, in like 45 minutes. But really? Really? You have to. Really? Really? You have to do that. You have to make me remind myself the fact that we do choke a lot in every sport. It doesn't matter what sport it is, there is going to be some form of choking factor. I could, regale you for the next 40 odd minutes about choking garbage that I haven't had to deal with, or simply just outright sucking in a game that we shouldn't have sucked. But I don't feel like retelling the entirety of my existence as a football fan or a sports fan. So, this game specifically, I had a lot of hope for it. I was like, yeah, let's take Oklahoma State to up to the brink. We did it before. We played them earlier in the season. And precedent has told us that when we've played Oklahoma State in this setting, this 2 game setting, we did move on. We beat we beat Oklahoma State in 18 innings and 14 innings in the 1984 College World Series regional final. We got like third place or something, I forgot, but that I was like, okay, well, Preston is good. That's pretty good, and we have an above 500 record against them total for reasons, I guess. But no, we just had to choke it. Make me realize the reason why I'm a depressed sports fan. Because this team gives me hope and then dashes it away. It's so infuriating to deal with this. Now, I know there are a bunch of other fan bases saying, oh, but this is worse. No. It's like, sure, you've had, you know, choking, like, as your entire legacy. But I believe that because Nebraska has had success at one point, and the fact that has happened, why are you sucking now? Why does this have to happen? Why? What happened in the past, I don't know, 20 years since we've had the success in all pretty much every single sport? There are only like 3 sports that are like consistently playing for playoffs, and that's it. We got women's bowling, which I don't even know if most people even know that women's bowling is a NCAA sanctioned sport. I think women's volleyball, which we're about to absolutely destroy the attendance record. I'm not going to be able to go to that game, unfortunately, because, well, I couldn't buy the tickets because they were all sold out within like 10 minutes. And then, what was the third sport? Women's track and field. We have like a bunch of Big Ten championships for some reason. In fact, a couple weeks ago, we just won the Big Ten championship. Like, yeah, we've had sporadic success from all the other sports. 2009 for football. 2009, we went to the Big 12 championship, and we were a ref screw job away from winning that. And then our first and only appearance in the Big 10, Big 10 conference championship. We were going in there thinking we could beat the ever living crap out of the third place team. Like, wow. Like that's so free. Thank you, Ohio State and Penn State, for committing infractions. But no, we just had to lose by a ton of points, get a insane block called back because refs, and a bunch of other things. It's just lovely. I could talk about ref screw jobs all day, but that softball game, that softball game had a lot of rigging, surprisingly towards Nebraska, which is something that I, as a sports fan, have not really experienced much, because I have experienced a lot of pain from the refs. 2021 Week 9 for the Chicago Bears. I don't ever like referencing the game because it just brings up so much pain. Not only for the organization, but for Cassius Marsh. But just it's just painful to just keep experiencing. But this time we actually got ref help, and we still lost. We still lost because we couldn't throw a decent pitch or a decent grounder. We couldn't throw any of those. Probably, and I'm saying this because this is relevant, probably because we had two, and I repeat, two pitchers coming with us to the College World Series regionals, Women's College World Series regionals. Two. Your average team has like 4 or 5. All of them either got injured. Pretty much all of them got injured. And we were down to like number 2 and number 3 in pitching. Then number 2 also happened to be a good hitter. Also a senior, so no more. Like the top 2 hitters, seniors, they're gone after this year. So I don't know. I mean, it was good effort for being the 64th team in, but you're gonna lose like that. Like, I wouldn't be this mad if they lost 10-0 and it would have ended in like the 5th inning. I would have not been mad about that, because that just means that, hey, the other team was just better than you. But no, we had a chance at winning that. We had a good chance, and we blew it. We blew it. What is it like? What there is like no, there's no explanation as to why you could be giving up 4 runs. And like, the players did well for for pretty much the entire 3-day cycle, but you're gonna end it off of that. That's gonna put a sour taste in the mouths of Nebraska fans, especially the ones that drove all the way out to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Like, there is nothing else to do over there. Hello, what the heck? It just pains me, but it could be worse. It could be worse. You could be the baseball team. Oh, the baseball team. Most infuriating part of Nebraska sports. And I'm saying this even with the football team struggles, even with the fact that our basketball team still hasn't won an NCAA tournament game, but won the NIT somehow. It, like they can be good. Will Bolt is a decent coach. It's just that pitching just falls apart. I went to one of their games, the first Nebraska baseball game I've been to in, I don't know, a decade. I was pretty young last time we went there for that specific baseball game. Not the Salt Dogs though. I I just go there for Salt Dogs games because yes. But I went. That one game was a demolishment by an MVC. I think it's MVC opponent. Huh? Like I actually need to. South Dakota State. No. Like what the hell? Who the hell is? Yeah, the Missouri Valley Conference. Missouri, sorry, Summit League. My bad. I keep forgetting that Missouri Valley Football Conference exists. Missouri, the Summit, the leaders of the Summit. We lose to that team. What? Which honestly makes too much sense because Big Ten baseball is just very mid, and that is the only reason as to why we're even fourth place. Like when I saw that, I'm like, huh? Fourth place? What? What is this garbage of a Big Ten? But that, that was an interesting thing to see. Yeah, that was an interesting thing to happen, but it happened, and I plan to hopefully go to one of those games on the 25th, either the 10 a.m. or the 6 p.m. My bad. But like that's they're doing all right this season, but the all right part is just because they're so inconsistently. They're consistently inconsistent with how they play. They can score nothing one day, and with the same exact pitching staff that they were facing, they can put up 15 runs. They tied an opponent this year, which is something I didn't even know baseball still did. They tied an opponent 16-16. What? How is that even possible? How is it possible to not only score 16, but allow 16 runs? That game epitomized the entirety of the season, and that was Game 4. Game 4 in a series that we lost. Oh, we went 0-3-1 in that series. Yes, 0-3-1. That I expect to hear that from an NHL hockey, NHL. I expect to hear, oh, you lost 3 times and then one loss was in overtime or one tie. No, that's a baseball. That's a baseball series. 0-3-1. Yeah. It's some BS rules about like curfews or whatever. Even though like the game ended at like 8 p.m., like maybe like 10 p.m. Pacific time, but it was still like 8 p.m. here. So what? And the coach of that, well, I watched that game. The coach of San Diego was intentionally like that's some BS, but whatever. We blew a 5-run lead in that game as well to tie it. I watched that. That was painful. painful, I tell you. But it evened out eventually. We went okay in overall record and slightly decent in Big Ten, which apparently gets you the 4 seed. Sure. Now that game, the first game on the 24th, I can't attend because that's too early, and also, I have like school stuff to do. I mean, like I sit on my computer to do, but I still have to do it. So there's the 10 a.m. and the 6 p.m. time. I can go to either one because morning, screw that. But like, it just, it's just there, and yeah. What else I was gonna talk about? Football. Oh yeah, we signed some for football. We signed some. No, not signed, but we got a recruit from Bellevue or something, Bellevue, Nebraska, and apparently he's already been hailed as the replacement for Rayola, who just committed to Georgia. What I think is weird is that like he decommitted from Mizzou less than 24 hours before he actually before he committed to Nebraska. Was he just like given the promise like, hey, if Rayola doesn't come over here, you can just come, just stay with your Mizzou recruit there or whatever, and then Rayola decommits, and then that. What's weird is that like he's a 3-star, which I'm like, is he really like? Is he 100% the next starter, the next 4-year starter? Really, he's gonna be the what I would call heir to Adrian Martinez, even though he's almost as much anti-Adrian Martinez as possible because he doesn't run the ball, but sure, whatever. I think it's, good that we're adding depth in the QB room, but, like, I feel like there could be some QBs in there that would step up, but that's more of a 2025 situation, but, whatever. It's not like he's starting in 2024 because I think Sims still has a year of eligibility. Not like a freshman's going to kick him out anyway. I hope so. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope Sim stays for another 2 years, but that's about it. What else is I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, choking from football. Yeah, football has just been choking since Scott Frost or Mike Riley before that, or the coach before that. No, just kidding. Mike Riley did an overall better job than Frost. He at least had a winning season. He had, at one point, scared the entirety of the college football realm that, oh crap, is Nebraska back? And then, we choked it at the end of the season to even make the Big Ten tournament conference, but championship. But whatever. We still scared the entirety of the college football world. Like, hey, we're still here, and then we weren't there. We Jesus, we definitely fell off. But we've all been downhill since then. All downhill. And not good. Not good in the slightest. But, yeah. Hopefully Matt Rule can fix it. I mean, it looks like he's already fixing it, but I'm just not sure. But sure, he'll fix something. Was there another sport I was supposed to talk about? Probably. on. Let's let's just search this up. Oh yeah, apparently with that Daniel Kalin signing, he's apparently going to bring in a bunch of other recruits, which I think is interesting coming from a 3-star QB, but sure. Oh yeah, basketball choking. I might as well just look at that. So basketball choking. I remember this. We've had this year was a lot of great moments. We went 16-16. That definitely did better than last year. Anything is better than last year. Just kidding, not really. The previous 2 years. Winning 7 games 2 years in a row. 7 games for 2 years in a row. Just whatever. I think, honestly, 2020 saved Hoiberg's coaching job because it cut it short, and then he was able to do something, and somehow that led to doing things. I just want to, we consistently scored in the 50s and 60s. We went from, we started the season by not scoring 80 until our 4th game, and then didn't score 80 until Boston College, and then Minnesota, and then that was pretty much it until Rutgers in Iowa. And then we did the brilliant move of choking to Minnesota. We choked to Minnesota. After beating Iowa on the road, we choked against Minnesota. Minnesota, I tell you. The big fat brown M. We choked against that team. The big fat M. What? It just is. It's so annoying. A team that we beat in overtime to get our first overtime road win since forever ago or something. I don't know. It's been forever since then. But my goodness, that was pain. And we beat Creighton this season, but Creighton decided to die, so it's not like it did much. It's still infinitely better than 2019-2020, where we won 7 games. We beat. Nope, that was an exhibition. We lost to UC River. We put up 47 points against UC Riverside. 47 points? Why are you doing this? 47 points to a team that went 17-15. Kept losing. Kept consistently being okay to lower division opponents. We lost to this team in week 1. Sorry, game 1, whatever. That's just so annoying. And we lost, and then we lost in double overtime to Southern Utah. Southern Utah. Get our first win against South Dakota State. Beat Southern in overtime. So how did we beat Washington State in the Cayman Islands? Losing to George Mason. What? Florida? Hello? And then, it just collapsed. We got a whole 2 conference wins. 2 of them. We won our last game against Texas A&M. Iowa, my bad. Sorry. I thought it was Texas A&M Corpus Christi. How would we beat Iowa still? But like, okay, sure. That gets our last win with guys who are currently playing for Iceland's national team and is a top Icelander for basketball. What? What? How is this a thing? What? No. No. Okay. I don't even know who like half these guys are because none of them could be recruited. And then our final game of the year, well, non Big Ten tournament, we lose 107-75. What? How do you lose that badly? That I don't think was the only that was the only game we gave up 100 points. Okay, that's better than other years. But then we go to the next season. We play significantly lesser amount of games, get one extra conference game W. Well, that's it. We beat our first team, which is somehow a challenge. Somehow. We actually scored 102 points. We somehow did. I don't know how. You know, I was going to change the thing to what I'm showing, but I don't think I should do that. And then, you know, we could be North Dakota State and South Dakota State, but... And then, why do we keep losing to Georgia Tech, bro? And then, for some reason this year, for some reason, we were able to put Doane University on our regular season schedule. I still don't know how we were able to do that because in pretty much every other Big Ten team, they would get absolutely flogged for it, but I guess it was Nebraska men's basketball. You know, we had 4 games in a row postponed. You know, they were decent opponents as well. So we kind of avoided that, but our last win of the season was not against Iowa. It was against Rutgers in a 2-game stretch in which we actually played well. And let me tell you, it didn't last long, giving up about 102 points to Iowa. Woo! Which was the only game that we gave up 100 points. Why are they doing this? They won exactly one away game. This is why they kept choking easily winnable games that were so close. Like, my point here is, like, they've had success before. Like, I'm going to go to a random season for Nebraska, 1993 to 1994. We went 20-10. I didn't pick this. I just scrolled through and went back. We scored in the 90s 111 points against a team. 106 against Colorado. We went on a massive tear that include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games won in a row during non-conference play, which include 2 conference games. But then once we hit conference, fail. We even had a 111-115 overtime L, which it has to be by far the most amount of points. And in that was the year that we won the Big 8. I kind of forgot about that. We did at one point win the Big 8 tournament. That did not get us into the tournament. That got us into the NIT. A 20-9 team didn't make it. Probably because they were 7-7 conference. Well, the thing is, back then they didn't do it the same way. Let's go to 2002-2003. 11 and 19. What happened? What? Who the hell is EA Sports? What is that? It says EA Sports Exhibition. That's that's not what I thought it was, but sure, okay. Apparently you played EA. And then Sports Tubers, but I honestly don't know what the hell that is. Well, we played teams. We lost to Ball State. That is an embarrassment. We're actually into the Big 12, and we won Big 12 games. A whole 3 of them. Yeah, maybe that. Not winning a single away game. That was the start of the slow decline that we are currently in. 2009, 2010, 15 and 18, where we had a showing at the start. I mean, winning a lot of games in a row is very good. Beating up at Chicago State in a 3-game stretch where we played state teams. But it's still down because again, we won a game in the Big 12 tournament, but we couldn't win more. 2 and 10 in away games, but 12 and 7 in home games. With a 2 and 14 conference record. Jeez, okay. And then let's go 2015, 2016. 16 and 18. We're still mediocre. We then fired our head coach. I still kind of don't know why we did that, but sure. And then for this season specifically, we lost to Samford. In a game where one of our players became the 13th Husker to join the 1,300 point club. Guess who it is? I'm sure you don't know. And we ended the season on a 5-game losing streak, but we won 2 games in the Big Ten tournament. Right, I forgot about that run, kinda, because I was not really doing well. This is what happens when you do 6 and 12 in conference and 10 and 8 at home and 3 and 8 on the road. Why is such the imbalance? Jesus. All this is to say that I believe that the whole reason why Nebraska doesn't have a pro sports team, it's not because Nebraska doesn't have enough fan base. We have clearly said from the start that we will support a pro sports team because we show out to literally every single game. We pretty much attend every single Nebraska game. What would be different for a slightly underachieving pro football team? Not pro football, like pro team? Nothing. And instead we get like roller skating. I think that's one of them. And then sports. There we go. Like that, there are professional sports like the Salt Dogs, independent league, sure. Omaha Beef, an indoor football team that I don't think exists anymore. I'm not sure though because it's not like I can tell. Omaha Storm Chasers, another minor league team. Omaha Heart, indoor football league, a women's indoor football league. I don't think that exists anymore. The Nebraska Bug Eaters. Oh man, I forgot about that one. Union Omaha, USL League 1. Like, we have teams, but it's like, it's not necessarily huge ones. Because who the hell cares about USL League 1? Who the hell is that? It's literally just It's literally just the lower tier of like MLS. This is like the lower tier, but no one does regulation, so whatever. They literally have a team name called Richmond Kickers and South Georgia Tormenta. Sure, all right. But why doesn't Nebraska have anything more than a USL one team and indoor football? Like why is the news of having a pro volleyball team, women's volleyball team, making big news? Probably because it had Joe Burrow in it, but who cares about that? I mean, it's only like Joe Burrow's done, you know, a lot for the Bengals, and we could have ruined him, but no, he decided to go to LSU. Well, Frost decided that he would go to LSU. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying again. I'm really bad at like actually figuring out how to say things, but yeah, all I gotta say is that like what could we have we have a minor league team. We have like 2 or 3 of them in the top hockey league or whatever. It's mostly regional, but it's the top one in terms of what the NHL refers to. We have like 2 or 3 of those teams. I know we have the Tri-City Storm. Tri-City Storm. We have that. It's a tier 1 junior ice hockey league team. The USHL, whatever that is. There's 16 teams. 4 of them are in Nebraska. The Omaha Lancers also exist, as well as the rip-off Dallas Stars. I mean, Lincoln Stars. Playing in the good old ice box. I've been there before. It's a pretty nice arena for what it is. The United States' own national developed team is pretty terrible. I don't think it exists anymore, though. I think they deleted it somehow at some point. Maybe, I'm not sure though. But that happened, that is like what is different? Why can't we get like a higher up than just a junior league team? Why can't we get like there's a there was like a higher version of I can't forget what the junior ice hockey. USA Hockey, let's go to no, I don't. Okay, it doesn't matter. So, why can't we get like a higher minor league team? Like why can't we get like a developmental team to move over? Like why can't we get one of those? Why are we stuck with the Lincoln Salt Dogs? It's the major draw. Like we have amateur sports clubs. In fact, that roller derby thing that I mentioned before was actually just it's actually just amateur or whatever. But there's USHL. Like what? Well, like what is that? What even is? It literally is just people shoving each other. Okay. Like that's a thing. But like no one goes to their games or whatever. I don't even know what the hell that is. But hey, whatever. It's cool. We can I'll just have to deal with just having like there could easily be some sort of I mean, we could have been a 30-second hockey team. But it's not necessarily the fact that I'm getting to my point now. It's not necessarily the fact that we have, we're not like a completely big as like an actual state. I think it's mostly because of this. The fact that any Nebraska team it touches, there is a good chance they might choke. It doesn't matter. Like, sure, they've had championships, but they've choked away a ton more. That I think is the reason why we do not have a pro sports team in Nebraska, because I feel like if this wasn't what it is, I believe there could be easily a pro sports team, even if it is just an MLS team. Even if it is just an MLS team, people will show up in droves for that crap. People will show up for yeah. I don't really give a crap about USFL, but sorry, not USFL, MLS. But yeah, sure, I'll join. I'll join in the fan base. That'll be fun. And people will start. It doesn't matter if it exists. People will attend it. Sure, maybe not like every single person would love to attend it, but there's a good amount of people that would attend it because their other teams are not giving them enough goods. But hey, whatever. That's just me. Maybe there's some other thing. I don't know, the fact that our state is becoming terrible or whatnot, but whatever. We could do better with those cornfields. Anyway, so there's my first podcast not podcast, just video or whatever of me talking about specifically now this video, Nebraska sports. I know I'm not really using this visual thing that well, but at the same time, I was originally gonna use a different program, but for some reason my recording software just says, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna show it. But hey, whatever. It's fine. I hope you found this entertaining. Maybe the ramblings of a person slowly going into the descent of madness. Yeah. Have a good rest of your day, evening, night, whatever. And I'll see you guys wherever I upload next. Yeah. Goodbye.